Howdy, this is Lemmy of RevZilla TV, here to talk to you today about the Vance Hines VO2 Naked Air Intake. You should be looking into a naked air intake if you want to give your bike a little bit of a different look and a little bit more performance. These things are made for a pretty wide variety of motorcycles. You've got your standard Harley Big Twin Harley Sportster covered by fitment, but there's also a couple newcomers on there too. The new Harley Street. Vance Hines is cranking something out for them. Also, if you're zipping around on one of the new Yamaha Bolts, Vance Hines has got you covered. They have a naked air intake you can use as well. Installation on these isn't too hard. You're looking at somewhere between 1 and 2 beards on our 3-beard scale of difficulty. Let's get right into this kit and see exactly what it's going to come with and how it's going to help you out. I think the focal point for most intakes is going to be the air filter itself. It's also where the nomenclature comes from. They call this thing the Naked because you're getting a naked air filter. There's no fancy cover on here. This thing is stripped down. Doesn't mean you can't run a cover on it, just means it doesn't come like that. This filter is a really nice piece. It's made of oiled cotton gauze. Most performance filters you're going to see are going to feature this exact same construction, and the reason it's so effective is because it lets a monstrous amount of air through. But because that gauze is oiled, it also allows the filter to pick up contaminants and little pieces of dirt and particles that could potentially harm your engine. So you're getting good filtration, but on the other hand, you're also getting lots and lots of air, which is what your engine needs to perform its best. Other items included in the kit are the backing plate, and you'll also see here too, there's sort of this stepped machined piece that sits behind the filter and helps guide air into your intake. Believe it or not, this machined radius on here is actually the secret to a lot of the horsepower that this kit produces. It's really nicely made, and it's going to provide your bike with the air it needs at high velocity in order to make your bike go fast. Ultimately, that's what we're all looking for. Installation, like we talked about, is pretty simple. For most folks, it's gonna wind up working out to probably about an hour's worth of install time if you're your typical garage mechanic and you have a decent set of hand tools. We did mention this possibly going from 1 into a 2-beard installation though, and that's because of some of the other stuff you can have to do if you're running a high flow intake. Especially if you've already modified your exhaust or you're considering modifying your exhaust, you're gonna wanna bump up your fuel system as well with a fuel controller. We feel that the additional work and time of adding in that fuel controller sort of justifies this thing going up possibly into the 2-beard installation category. However, if you've already got a fuel controller, maybe because you already did a performance exhaust in your bike, this should be a bolt and go item. You should have not so much time tied up, but you should be getting a lot of bang for your buck because this is going to let your engine wolf down as much air as it can get in there. And remember, as with all of our direct fit parts, you definitely want to get into our bike finder, select your bike, make sure that you're getting the right pieces. We put a lot of work into making sure that you're going to get the parts you need for your bike. Stop off that bike finder and you're going to get the right thing first time, every time. So I had mentioned earlier in the video how the Naked acquired its name. This thing is meant to be run with no cover. That's how they set it up. However, that's not how it has to be run. Vance Hines does make a series of caps to fit this thing that look great. The skull cap is what it's called. It will fit right over there. The other cool thing about these too is if you're rocking a round stock air cleaner, you can use that on this. Most stock HD cleaners will fit over this with your factory bolt. So what that means is you can kind of get the sleeper setup. You can have monster performance, but it's going to be tucked away behind a stock appearing package. Keeps prying eyes off your bike. Nobody really suspects that it's anything other than a stock air cleaner. I think that's kind of cool. My opinion, however, is not the only one that matters. Yours does. Click below, see what some riders who already have one of these in their bike are saying about it. Or if you have one yourself, leave an opinion. Help another rider figure out if this is going to work out for them. If you've got questions beyond that, definitely get in touch with us. 877-792-9455 will get you a Gear Geek live on the horn, or you can always drop us an email, cs@revzilla.com. I'm Lemmy. I'm out of here.